Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news happening in Detroit, where Dearborn police officers are raiding a home. This is near Electric Street and Omaha Street.
Sources tell us the raid is in connection with shots fired earlier this week at an unmarked Dearborn police vehicle, almost hitting the officer behind the wheel. That officer was following a stolen car into the city when that shot was fired. Police are towing away what is believed to be the stolen vehicle. Officers have detained one person. Earlier today, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office charged a Detroit man in connection with that stolen vehicle.
Our other top story tonight, a Detroit native in desperate need of help after being in the middle of a police chase. Elijah Hall says he was headed to visit his mother on Detroit's east side when the suspect's vehicle crashed into him.
He was hospitalized with injuries. Pamela Osborne is live with his story. And Pamela, he says he's unable to work now.
Yeah, he's suffering a lot of nerve pain as a result of that accident. This whole situation traumatizing for that father and son. When they were hit, their car actually went into this pole. You can see it sitting sideways right now. That totaled their car, and while they are grateful to be alive, there's still a lot that they're trying to figure out right now.
As a father, I look to protect them from these type of situations, and to be smack dead in the middle of it with no control, you know, hoping that my son is still alive.
Black male, yellow plaid shirt.
The man you see here running from Warren police is 29-year-old Willie Lee Allen. This video was taken by a passerby. It shows the end of a police chase that started in Warren on Monday, ending here near 8 Mile and Fenelon Street in Detroit. Now take a look at this. We'll slow it down. One of those cars, the one that's smoking, belonged to Elijah Hall.
Next thing I know, I'm heading straight first into this pole, thinking about, man, it's just about to be my last moments with my son.
The Detroit native and his 13-year-old were in town from Ohio visiting with family when he wound up in the middle of a police pursuit and shootout. They had barely made it out of the car, which was hit by Allen's car, when they heard gunshots.
At that point, I'm hoping that we don't get hit with a bullet, so I'm telling my son, like, get down.
Hall was taken from the scene to the hospital. He says doctors there could only do so much. He has to see a neurologist.
I got to stick some needles and stuff in my leg just to see how deep the nerve damage went. My insurance doesn't cover those type of visits.
Hall's job requires him to stay on his feet. He's a maintenance supervisor for GM. He hasn't been back to work since the incident, which at least temporarily has changed the course of his life.
I got a whole family to take care of. And my wife and my children, they look to me for support.
And Hall has set up a GoFundMe account to help with some of those expenses that he certainly did not anticipate as a result of this accident. That driver, Allen rather, he is in police custody facing several felony charges at this hour. Again, that family trying to figure out how to move forward and take care of themselves now. We're posting all that information on our website, clickondetroit.com. Reporting live in Detroit, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Yeah, okay. Pam, thank you. Devin.
Just hours, Riverview will officially start accepting applications from recreational marijuana businesses who want to open up shop there. Some are so committed to getting one of those, they've been camping out in front of City Hall. Mara McDonald live in Riverview tonight. These are not concert tickets, Mara. Typically, we don't see businesses having to sleep outside in order to submit applications. What's going on?
Devin, exactly. It's not every day you see a mini tent city outside of the Riverview City Hall, but it's really for two reasons. Number one, there is limited real estate here in Riverview. And number two, the way this ordinance is written. Kinship Cannabis Company is so committed to getting its license in first, it's had staff rotating out of this tent for the last 9 days.
More so than anything, we definitely want to be in our community.
What the city is requiring is pre-approval from the state and identifying the business location. And that business location is the tricky part. Because of Riverview's size, there aren't that many options that will meet the required zoning, which says this: no two cannabis businesses can be within 300 feet of each other. If you have two competing entities, will it matter who got their application in first? We'll see. Kinship already has its building purchased in the correct commercial zoning and plans ready to go for the remodel if approved. It already operates this store in Albion.
We're so happy to be at the forefront of our ship, if that's what you want to call it, sailing into this new avenue in our own backyard, in our own community.
Back here live, those applications can be turned in starting at 9 a.m. in the morning. And it's interesting to note that if you look at Riverview's ordinance, they don't have a scoring process built into theirs the way some cities like Detroit have. And some of those scoring things can be subjective, which has led to litigation. That does not exist in what Riverview has written, which is one of the reasons that being first in line, second in line, may make a difference. We're live in Riverview tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Really interesting. All right, Mara. Police have identified a person of interest now in the hit-and-run crash that killed a senior at Michigan State.
22-year-old Benjamin Cable was killed as he walked down Rochester Road early Sunday morning. Investigators have seized the car they believe was used in the hit-and-run. They say it was found at a home not far from the crash scene. No arrests have been made.
After 3 days and 11 now ballots, top Republican Kevin McCarthy has still failed to get the votes needed to become the Speaker of the House. Sources close to the process are telling NBC News a promising deal is close, but just not across the finish line yet.
We're all working together to find a solution.
Let's get this over with. Let's choose our Speaker, get Kevin McCarthy, and let's start doing what we're supposed to be doing.
My vote does not get Kevin McCarthy the speakership. I am a no on Kevin.
So we'll see. The House now adjourned until noon tomorrow, and the effort to elect a Speaker of the House will move to a 12th ballot. You have to go back about 150 years to find the last time that this process has taken this long. On the other side of Capitol Hill, Senator Debbie Stabenow is not going to be running for a 5th term.
Michigan's first female senator says it's time to pass the torch to the next generation. She spent 2 decades serving Michigan in the Senate, rising to the number 3 Democrat.
I certainly wrestled with it. It's a big decision and impacts a lot of people. And so it's a relief. I feel very confident that this is the right thing for me and for my family. And now I'm just moving ahead to plan how these next 2 years, how we get a 5-year farm bill done, how do we move forward in Michigan. I've got a lot more to do.
Stabenow's decision will open up a seat in a key battleground state during a presidential election year.
A Michigan State football player pleads guilty to misdemeanors in connection with the tunnel brawl at Michigan Stadium. Under the plea deal, the felony charge against 21-year-old Kerry Crump was dropped. He will avoid jail time. After the fight, Crump was suspended by MSU coach Mel Tucker and by the Big Ten Conference.
The man accused of making anti-Semitic threats in an Oakland County temple has been ordered to go to trial. Hassan Choker made a virtual court appearance from his jail cell to hear the judge reveal her decision. He's charged with 2 felony counts of ethnic intimidation after video showed him going on an anti-Semitic and racist rant in front of parents, young children, and security at the Temple Beth El in Bloomfield Township last month.
He just started screaming, "How dare you? You're doomed. You'll pay for this."
The time, the place, and the manner of his speech, his tone, his chosen victims.
There are individuals out there around this nation that have said much worse things than Mr. Choker has said, and the U.S. Supreme Court has found that to be protected speech.
Choker remains in custody on a $1 million cash bond.
Temperatures right now hovering right around the freezing point.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check in with forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams. Still tracking some light flurries out there, Kim.
Just very light flurries in parts of Oakland County right now, showing up on Exact Track 40 radar. We had mostly rain earlier, and then after the sunset, the temperatures did drop, and we are seeing that light snow now in Auburn Hills, Rochester Hills, Pontiac, Kego Harbor, and Bloomfield Hills, but it's dry just to the south in Clawson, Beverly Hills, and also in Birmingham. Widen the view for you once again, and it's pretty quiet across much of Metro Detroit tonight, and we expect it to stay that way. But temperatures are right at or slightly below freezing in some spots. So if you do travel overnight for your job or whatever you need to do tonight, just be aware that some of the overpasses with temperatures at or below freezing could become a little bit slippery. 34 in Mount Clemens, 36 City Airport, 33 at Metro. For the day tomorrow, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, a flurry or two, and maybe we could get a little shot of a late day sunshine, but I think most of the sunshine is going to come to us over the weekend. Finally, we'll see full sunshine for Saturday. And you can always keep up to date on the weather by downloading the Forewarned Weather app.